Having worked in the corporate world for many years now, I have seen fortunes rise and fall quite dramatically. An inflated ego is easy to acquire when you ride on the wave of success at a young age, supported by growth in the company's fortunes. Your success at times was on the back of favorable circumstances. But when you have an inflated ego, you fail to realize that. And at such times, you are incapable of objective self reflection. Awareness and ego cannot coexist, says Eckhart Tolle. All of us succumb to our egos at some point. It's kind of inevitable. And thanks to social media, it is even more easier for us than before to fall into ego trap more and more often. It's taken me years to recognize the voice of my own ego. Sometimes a smug knowingness that comes from knowledge and experience of doing something, a feeling of righteousness that I can't go wrong, I must be right. And then there are other times when my ego feels defeated. It's unable to take failure, even the smallest of them. Someone else has a better idea, somebody did something better or quicker, and I feel hurt. You see, the enemy is within, ego is the enemy. The book Ego is the Enemy, The Fight to Master Our Greatest Opponent by Ryan Holiday says that ego is the unhealthy belief in our own importance, the need to be better than, more than, and be recognized. That's our ego. It's that sense of superiority and certainty that exceeds the boundaries of confidence and talent. Ego is really the enemy of what you want. It comes in the way of mastering a craft, of real creative insights, of working well with others, of building loyalty and support, of repeating and retaining our success. With every ambition and goal that we have, ego is there, undermining us on every way of the journey. This book is organized in three parts: aspire, success, and failure. In the aspire part, we are setting out to do something. And every great journey begins here. We build ourselves with fantastic stories. We pretend to have everything figured out. And often we fall in love with an image of what success looks like. At this stage, it is important to decide whether you want to be somebody or you want to do something important. The reality comes in form of incentives, recognition, and the politics that accompanies it. In every case, that can quickly redirect us from doing to being, and from earning to pretending to be somebody important. Ego aids in the deception at every step of the journey. The author here emphasizes the importance of being a student, adopting humility, and a continuous willingness to learn. He suggests that true progress comes from a mindset of constant improvement rather than giving in to the ego's desire for instant recognition. Then comes the success phase of the journey. Here we are at the top of the mountain, or at least near it. We face new temptations and problems at this stage. There's a sense of entitlement. But success can be short lived, and ego shortens it even further. We stop learning, we stop listening, and we lose our grasp on what really matters. Here, the author cautions against complacency, overconfidence, and alienating others due to a swollen ego. He encourages readers to remain humble, focus on organization and purpose to balance out the nature of the ego. In the final part of the journey, we experience the trials which are typical to any journey. Perhaps we failed. No one is permanently successful, and not everybody finds success on the first attempt. We all deal with setbacks. Ego not only leaves us unprepared to face failure, many a times it was what caused failure in the first place. The way to rise again requires a reorientation and increased self awareness. Here, the author underscores the value of resilience and adaptability. and urges the readers to embrace failure as a learning opportunity. He advises to avoid blaming external factors or letting ego hinder one's progress. At this point, he says we need to focus on purpose and develop the patience to attain it. While the book discusses ego in the professional sphere, it also holds so true in our personal lives. Our ego prevents us from forging and deepening relationships. It prevents us from asking for forgiveness, and a feeling of superiority takes over if we have to do something for those who wronged us. Three thoughts that I would like to leave you with. Firstly, detachment. Focus on the journey and not on the outcomes. Focus on the process of your work rather than fixating on immediate recognition or outcomes. When you prioritize the journey and the effort you put on your work, you're less likely to be derailed by ego driven desires for an instant validation. Secondly, practicing humility. Success or failure is the outcome of not just our efforts and initiative, but also the situations and circumstances that are developing around us. Therefore, it's important to embrace humility, remain adaptable, and continuously develop skills and knowledge instead of just being complacent. And finally, learning from failure. Failure is an inevitable part of any journey. One cannot succeed all the time. So, how you respond to failure is critical. Don't allow failure to damage your confidence. Rather, view it as an opportunity to grow in wisdom and to apply it to create future success. And remember that awareness is the key. Like Eckhart Tolle once said, all you need to know and observe in yourself is this. Whenever you feel superior or inferior to anyone, that's the ego in you.
To listen to more such enriching content, like, share, and subscribe to Wisdom Stories Unlimited.